A Seminole High School student is facing serious charges this morning. Police say he shot a classmate on campus.
We're told the victim was shot multiple times and is stable in the hospital.
Wait, y'all didn't hear about the school shooting on CNN and MSNBC and the Young Turks? Y'all didn't hear about that? Where y'all been at, man? Yeah, it was a school shooting this past week, man. Everybody know about that, right? It was all over the place, right? I mean, I just assumed. I don't watch those channels, but I'm just assuming this was on CNN and MSNBC around the clock, right? It was trending all over Twitter, right? A school shooting, right? No? Oh, wow. So school shootings aren't a big deal anymore because of the Timothy Simpkins case. You know, Timberview, Texas, young man shot up his classroom, shot the teacher, shot the other students, shot the guy he was fighting with. And he's got out on bond and had a party thrown for him by his family. And they said he was being bullied, and then the police chief came out and said, well, actually he wasn't being bullied. He was involved in high-risk behavior, drug dealing. And since then he's violated the stipulations of his release on bond, and he's been rearrested. So since that Timothy Simpkins case happened, mainstream media is not covering school shootings anymore because 99% of them happen in Sun communities. And then every 6 months, 6 to 8 months, there's one in the glider community. That's really, really bad, don't get me wrong. But that's part of the 1% that happened in their community, and the other 99% happened in the Sun community. So we're just not covering school shootings anymore. Similar to Crouching Tiger, attacks on Crouching Tigers. Remember that was a big deal last year, beginning of last year? Well, we're not covering that anymore because, we found out that 99% of the people attacking Crouching Tigers are Sunmen. Oh, this country has a problem with mass shootings. Remember mid-2020 when mass shootings were a big deal? The president was taking on mass shootings. Then they realized that 80% of mass shootings are done by Sun people. So we're not covering mass shootings anymore. So once we find out that Sun people are responsible for the majority of whatever becomes the new story in America, we're just going to stop covering it. Gotcha.
A Seminole High School student is facing serious charges this morning. Police say he shot a classmate on campus.
We're told the victim was shot multiple times and is stable in the hospital.
Mark Lehman joins us live now outside the courthouse where the 16-year-old suspect just made his first appearance, Mark.
Yes, and during that first appearance, an arraignment was scheduled, and we learned that the suspect's family said they would be hiring their own attorney. All this happening as that teen faces some very serious charges after yesterday's shooting. Now, here's video from inside the courtroom as the first appearance was held for 16-year-old Daravius Smith. The judge...
Daravius. Daravius. As I say, that helps us all out. You see that name on a rental application or a job application, and you know what you're inviting into your... You already know what you're inviting into your sphere, into your realm. See your daughter on the phone, chuckling. Who you on the phone with? My boyfriend. Well, what's his name? Daravius. Now you know who your daughter's dating, man. So this is good that they do this. It's good that these sisters do that. Because they send out the the bat signal. They let you know. You know what time it is. You don't have to get to know the kid. You have to inquire question Ravius, or you know what time it is.
Now, here's video from inside the courtroom as the first appearance was held for 16-year-old Daravius Smith. The judge ordering him to remain in custody for at least the next 30 days. All of this comes after gunfire on the campus of Seminole High School yesterday. Police say student Javon McIntyre was shot 3 times and transported to the hospital where he's expected to be okay. Police later identified Smith as the suspect and took him into custody. According
Oh, look at the little terrified gliders. Girls. Seminole High School. Off to the great schools at. Old Seminole High School. 1,892 students. Grades 9 through 12. Test scores below average. Student progress below average. College readiness above average. That's odd. Equity below average. So that's telling me that the Sun teens aren't doing well. Okay, so demographics. Schools 79% glider, 11% hombrito, and 4% Sunmen. So this school, only 4% of the population at this school is Sun people. %4 of 2,000. Quick, let me think. 4% of 2,000. So 4% of 1,000 would be 44. So they have a little less than 2,000 kids. So they have about 75 Sun teens here. Let's just say that breaks down evenly. 38 Sun teen boys and 38 Sun teen sisters. So in this school, there's 38, let's just say there's 38 young Sun men. 2 of them were involved in the shooting. Jesus Christ.
Now, here's video from inside the courtroom as the first appearance was held for 16-year-old Daravius Smith. The judge ordering him to remain in custody for at least the next 30 days. All of this comes after gunfire on the campus of Seminole High School yesterday. Police say student Javon McIntyre was shot 3 times and transported to the hospital where he's expected to be okay. Police later identified Smith as the suspect and took him into custody. According to a police report, Smith claimed he had been the victim of bullying since last week. Well, this morning, the victim's grandmother was here during the court hearing, and she said her grandson is doing okay, but still very shaken after being shot.
I did speak with my grandson last night, and the first thing he told me was, Grandma, he tried to kill me. But by the grace of God, he didn't. So both families are going through something right now, and we ask that everybody keep both families lifted up in prayer.
So this kid saying he was bullied. And listen, bullying is very prevalent in the Sun man community. Very prevalent. And it's like next level. Like y'all can't even imagine. Like when you hear other groups talk about bullying, they're not really talking about bullying. They're just talking about everyday life. Like that would be the best way to describe the bullying in the Sun community. Gliders, crouching tigers, hombritos. What you guys consider bullying, that's just normal. That's just the way we relate to each other. The bullying we do is just another level you can't even imagine. Because you got to understand, like, look at where all the violence and the homicides are. Like, so this kid says he was being bullied. Now, I don't know. But I do know one thing, that in these schools, when it comes to shootings, that's the new that's the new excuse for everything. You know? He called me the sun word. That's their version of that with each other. So shoot you, we'll find out that this kid is in the streets. His IG's full of guns and money and drugs. He's claiming a gang. We'll find out all that stuff. But now I was being bullied because it works. They use that excuse because they know it'll work. Because people know how treacherous the Sun community is, and they're like, yeah, if you're a teacher at one of these schools, or you're a guidance counselor, or you just ride the bus during rush hour in your city, you can believe that. Oh yeah, I believe that he's being bullied enough to want to shoot somebody. I can believe that. And it could be a bold-faced lie, but people will believe it because these communities are so toxic and dangerous. And
I did speak with my grandson last night, and the first thing he told me was, Grandma, he tried to kill me. But by the grace of God, he didn't. So both families are going through something right now, and we ask that everybody keep both families lifted up in prayer.
Now, the suspect's family was here as well for today's hearing, but they didn't say anything as they left the courtroom. As it stands now, there's still a lot of questions to be answered about what exactly led up to this and how something like this could happen on the campus of Seminole High School. We're working to get more answers today from Sanford Police. Meanwhile, an arraignment for Daravius Smith has been scheduled for February 14th. We're now reporting live in Sanford. Mark Lehman, Getting Results, News 6.